Hi, I'm Jenny and I'm going to read chapter 2. Ted's eyes were still screwed tightly shut when he heard his mum's voice calling him. Ted! Ted, are you there? Can you hear me? Slowly he opened one eye and peered around. Everything was so bright. Lights twinkled all around, and when he finally decided to open the other eye too, he had to squint to take it all in. At first, all he could see was green. Smooth, pointy green needles surrounding him. Above him, below him, sticking into his back and tummy. He wriggled to get comfy and realised he was stuck. He was attached to a branch just like his mum had said would happen. That reminded him. Mum! Mum, I'm over here! He shouted, twisting round to see if he could see her deep red shine. It was strange being stuck to the branch rather than rolling around in the box. Ted, you're not far away. Try getting over to me, his mum called back. How? Squeaked Ted, starting to get a bit panicky. He could hardly move. You kind of have to jump, so your hanger lifts off the branch. Keep going. You should be able to sort of hop my way. Ted wriggled and jumped and jumped and wriggled until he finally began to move jerkily along the branch. Soon he caught a glimpse of red above him to the left. Mum! He shouted. Ted, she smiled, coming into view. How do you like the tree? It's a tree, shrugged Ted, carefully picking out a needle that had stuck in his ear. But the lights are awesome, and what's that shiny, frilly, tickly stuff? His mum laughed. That's tinsel. You'll find all sorts hiding in that. There's a lot to see and find out in a Christmas tree. I never get bored of looking. There's only one thing I want to see, Mum, said Ted excitedly, and that's a star. Monty told me to follow it and to find out why, so I'm going to. Mum? Yes, Ted? What's a star? Oh, Teddy, that's something you're going to have to find out too, Mum smiled and clinked her nose gently against Ted's. He thought he caught a tiny glimpse of worry in her face, but it disappeared as quickly as it had arrived. Before you do, though, she went on, there's someone I want you to meet. Someone who will help you with your why. Slowly, almost reverently, Ted's mum pulled aside a curtain of silver tinsel to reveal a human figure, about the size of Uncle Dan, who was easily the biggest of the baubles, resting where two branches met. She was carved out of wood, skillfully, the folds of her dress and hood falling gracefully about her. Ted was immediately drawn to her eyes. Fa-la-la, he breathed slowly. She looks so peaceful. I know, smiled Mum. She's one of my heroes. Why? Asked Ted, unable to drag his gaze away from the wooden figure. Her eyes seemed so gentle, strong, but with the tiniest hint of sadness hidden right at the centre. This is where Christmas began, Ted, with a young girl who was asked by God to do a very special job. It was a job that meant her walking into the unknown, even if it meant she had a hard time. She's my hero because she trusted God enough to say yes. Ted knew about God, who had made the world and everything in it. He had heard talk of him in the box since he was very small. He was still kind of small. Questions as ever jostled for space in his mind. Who is she? What job did God ask her to do? Why was it so difficult? They spilled out one after the other. Wait up, Teddy, his mum laughed. Her name is Mary, and God wanted her to have a very special baby. His baby. What? Spluttered Ted. God had a baby? Had a baby? Was a baby? I know, pretty crazy, huh? His mum's eyes were showing her laugh lines. Listen, Ted, if you want to find out the why, then Monty's right. You have to follow the star. When you find it, you'll find the special baby too. But listen, her smile hid itself a little, and the red of her casing deepened. We're baubles. We break easily. Be careful. Stick to the branches you can reach. Ted nodded and turned slowly to go. He felt suddenly nervous. Ted, his mum said again, trust is a letting go. We give things we care about over to God because we believe, we trust that he cares about them even more than we do. I'm going to be trusting God with you, my little golden nugget. Now off you go and find your why. Next stop, Uncle Dan. Up 2 branches and along. Hop, hop! Ted couldn't wait to search out Uncle Dan and see what other secrets were hidden in these prickly branches, so he took one last look at Mary and her beautiful, trusting eyes, clinked noses with his mum, took a deep breath and hopped.